Attention to all professional wrestling fans and followers of the legendary Johnny Genesis North. We are releasing a must-have collection of Johnny North merchandise in our store at merch.ringsidereport.net, starting with our limited edition Johnny Genesis North 3/4 sleeve t-shirt. With a unique design capturing Johnny in action, this tee exudes raw energy and intensity through its versatile 3/4 sleeves for any weather. Stand with our legendary co-host, Johnny North. Make a bold...
Yeah, it's UFC 295 weekend. We're doing the preview. It's Ringside Report MMA on the Ringside Report Network. Let's get this thing started.
Let's go!
Indeed. Where are they? Hey! Look at the crew. Look at the team.
Hey,
Ready
what's
to go.
up there, DJ? I thought you were
DJ?
spinning the ads there for a sec. Did you hear it? This is Johnny North. Johnny North.
Yeah, there was
legendary
some botches on the legendary Johnny.
I was like, bandwidth, Bell. This is what you
No,
get.
we don't use them. And neither does the UFC anymore, right? The UFC is jumping off Bell Media. Did you see the news? I got a text late night last night, and I saw it. This morning. I was like, oh my god, UFC is leaving TSN and RDS at the end of 2023, and they're going back to Sportsnet and TVA. So the
Crazy.
UFC changing broadcasters here in Canada, and yeah, I think it's probably a good move. I think it was better on Sportsnet. They seem to care more about it. They had Showdown Joe. You remember Showdown Joe? You guys remember that guy? AJ doesn't remember Showdown Joe Ferraro.
No.
Fred, you remember him, right?
Oh, yeah, I do. I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah. Showdown Joe, he was a nice guy. He was on Sportsnet. He was their MMA guy. And Sportsnet seemed to actually care about the UFC, and they seemed to actually put effort into their UFC coverage. Whereas, TSN, as soon as they got the UFC rights, they didn't care. They never got a guy. They never did UFC TV shows on their channel. They never added UFC programming. They just ran the UFC fights, and that was it. Sportsnet seemed to put more care and effort into the UFC. So, yeah, I'm happy that they're moving back to Sportsnet because Rogers seemed to put more effort into their coverage. I know for a fact, because I used to work for Bell Media when Bell Media first got the UFC rights, I said to my boss at the time, are we amping up UFC coverage? This is great. We get UFC on TSN. Good news, Nothing. He's like, I haven't heard anything. There's no word on any kind of extra coverage. No, nothing. And he was right. There was never anything. They never had plans to do a studio show or anything. I mean, I remember back in the day, Russ Amber used to be on TSN for boxing. They had a boxing analyst and they had a boxing show, and they put care into that sport. But when MMA and the UFC are on, I mean, they have PFL too on TSN, right? But they don't care about it. It's not like a thing that they have to cover. They don't seem to cover it in any kind of depth, not like they do, the CFL or hockey or whatever else that they care about, soccer, I guess.
They just show the ESPN feed. They're not investing into having their own show. They're just paying for the rights and playing whatever ESPN or whoever is playing. So.
Yeah. And Sportsnet has this approach with WWE too. I don't know if they still do, but they did at one time have their own kind of studio show, like a Sportsnet show about WWE. And WWE, they're still on Sportsnet, and I would expect them to continue to be on Sportsnet. And the fact that WWE is on Sportsnet is probably not a coincidence that the UFC is going back there, because it's all one company now, right? UFC and the WWE. So when they're talking about media distribution, they might be wanting to stay on one channel, on one brand, and the WWE seems to have a very good partnership with Sportsnet, with Rogers. They've been there for many years, and maybe the UFC is looking to kind of jump along on that. So I think it's good news for the UFC that they're leaving TSN. And I think it's also a coincidence that last week, I think on Wrestling Uncensored, I was just going on and on about how TSN was garbage. And, I was very mad because they have a paid app, TSN Plus, right? You have to pay for it extra. Like if you have the TSN channels, you don't get it. You have to pay more to get this app. And that's the only place that you can watch AEW Collision in Canada, which is really annoying that they don't have it on any of their TV channels. But they have it on the paid app, right? And there was a main event, Kenny Omega versus MJF for the world title. And halfway through the main event, the TSN paid app decided to just say, thank you for watching. This program is over. I was like, what? Where's the match? And eventually they brought it back like 5-10 minutes later, but they just completely screwed that up. And
that's weird.
Most of Canada, didn't get to see a good chunk of that excellent world title match because TSN can't even get their crappy paid app right. So I was already mad at TSN because of that. So now seeing them lose the UFC, I'm like, yeah, good. Get off. Get out of here. I wish they'd lose AEW too. I wish they had no wrestling or MMA programming so I wouldn't have to depend on them in any kind of way. Trying to watch this thing properly, screwing up my MJF match. It's not cool. Come on.
Who knows? Maybe TSN will start bringing in slap fighting or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if Slap TV deal in Canada, it would be more likely to be on Sportsnet because of the UFC deal, because of the WWE deal. And let's not forget, TKO Group, the big company now that's the WWE and UFC and all of that, they're working together. And Dana White has already said that the UFC going to Saudi Arabia was a deal done by Vince McMahon. The UFC is going to Saudi Arabia, I think sometime 2024. Not sure the exact date, but they do plan to have a show there. And Dana's saying that was a done deal because of Vince McMahon, who has ties to the Saudi people in charge of putting on shows like that, right? Because he's done events in Saudi Arabia for several years now. So they're working together. And the relationship already seems to be beneficial, opening new doors for the UFC, new places, new money. So there you have it. UFC,
that'd be interesting.
Gone from TSN, going to Sportsnet in 2024. UFC also going to Toronto in 2024, January 2024. Sean Strickland will be main eventing against Dricus du Plessis at UFC 297 in January in Toronto.
Oh, that's going to be good.
Ooh. Sean's already talking about
good.
Canada.
We should go, man. Let's do it.
But I won't.
Yeah, man. I want to go. Let's do it.
Fred's like, we should go, but I won't. Why won't you go?
I said I almost want to go.
Oh.
Because it's Toronto. Come on, let's do it, guys.
No, I
let's
love
do it.
Toronto. It's my favorite. It's my favorite Canadian city. I've said it before. Love Toronto, but middle of winter trip to Toronto. Nah, I'm sorry. I'm too old for those
drives. Just take the train, man.
Like, if
don't drive, Freddie. We'll
train
take the train.
Is fun. Yeah.
The network train, the Ringside network train.
I kind of wait.
Let's do it,
wait
Dave.
To see what the rest of the card is. I mean, traveling to Toronto in January, I don't know.
There's nothing else to do in January, dude. This is the perfect time to go.
I was, and you guys are laughing at me, but I was there at the last Toronto card. What was it? Because I remember it was in December. I went.
Yeah.
With my wife,
you were there.
Went a little Toronto trip.
Oh yeah.
It was Holloway.
Who was on that card?
It was Holloway against somebody.
Right.
Trying to remember.
Yeah, I didn't even go there.
It's been a while, man. When was the last time they've been to Canada? They've been to Vancouver, it's true, recently. But Toronto, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. And Sean Strickland is going to main event. We have some other fights, right? Sean O'Malley is going to main event a UFC pay-per-view against Marlon Vera, Chito Vera. That's not the same card, though, right? That's like a different card?
No. Yeah, different card.
Dana announced a few fights this week. And, of course, we got fights on Saturday night. We're going to give you our picks. More victory, by the way, the other day for Fred and I. Not for AJ, but.
What?
What? What do you mean, AJ?
I think I've won my last three parlay.
Yeah, Freddie's on a roll, man. Freddie's bringing home the bacon.
Fred's killing it.
No, Freddie, listen.
I've given good picks 2 weeks in a row. I gave you Tyson Fury by decision a couple weeks ago. That cashed in. I gave you Kaio and Jailton last weekend in a parlay. That cashed in. Fred's parlays have been cashing in every single week. Bet99.ringsidereport.net. I mean, don't wait. We are crushing the competition. Fred's parlay last week was Caio Borraio and Rodrigo Nascimento. They both won. Nice win for Team Fred. I had Caio Borraio, Jailton Almeida. They both won. Win for Team Dave. AJ went with a multi-thing parlay, and he lost with
but I was
Gabriel Bonfim, who you said was a hot guy last week. You called him a hot guy, and he lost.
Well, he wasn't too hot, but this guy was like the biggest favorite on that card going in, and I cannot believe – and he was doing pretty well, and then boom, the game changed so fast. I mean, Nicholas Dalby, man, this guy is something. I kind of like his style. I forgot how old he is. I think he's like 37, somewhere around there. Let me just double check.
He's 38.
38 years old, man. He's got that Viking look. He's resilient, man. He took a beating, and he came back. He almost got submitted, came back. The guy was relentless. And I was surprised that he ended up winning that because he should have been gone the prior round. And my parlay would have came in. I would have had my 4-fight parlay coming in. I didn't expect Bonfim to lose. He looked like he was doing well, and he just, gave up. I was really surprised. It sucks for my parlay, but damn, I got to give credit to Dalby because this guy, wow.
It was a big comeback.
And very marketable, too.
Bonfim went really hard trying to finish him, and Dalby survived on the ground. And then when it got to the feet, he turned it up. He turned it up to that next gear, and Bonfim couldn't match the energy. And, Dalby just kind of out-toughed him, out-hearted him. Big upset win there. You were with most people picking Gabriel Bonfim, but he did lose the fight to Nick Dalby last weekend, and that's what killed your parlay. But nothing killed the Team Fred and Team Dave parlay. We won. Derrick Lewis exhibited very little ground game in his fight last weekend. Jailton Almeida took him down over and over again. And, I mean, it's not that he got taken down. It's what he did when he got taken down. Derrick Lewis showing nothing on the ground. Absolutely nothing. No ability to get back to his feet. No attempt or reasonable attempt to get back to his feet.
He tried.
Did he? I mean,
he tried. There was a
lot of this. There was a lot of just defending himself, but not really looking to regain a guard. Not looking. I mean, there was just a lot of inactivity on the ground in that fight. It was kind of. It wasn't great.
I'll tell you what, man.
He was.
If anything, we should be disappointed with the performance that Lewis put out. Because if you listen also to the interviews before that fight, he didn't even seem like a guy that wanted to be there. He took the fight last second. He got arrested a couple of days before for speeding, excessive speeding. So, I got a question, was he at all ready for a high-level fight? Was he just there for a paycheck? Honestly, it was kind of disappointing from him.
But you can't really say that because it's hard to say that, Freddie, because Jailton, man, this kid is something, man.
Oh,
with
his
top mount game, man, he's fantastic. And most of the time, a guy like Lewis, when he's on his back, he can roll you out but he couldn't. He was being gassed out. There was so much top pressure, man. He was being pancaked through that whole fight. Jailton, man, his jiu-jitsu, offense and defense, man, was incredible. This kid is something. I was looking at him and I'm like, Jesus. When you can manhandle a guy like Derrick Lewis, you got to be good. And not only that, at one point, a couple of times I should say, but just in the beginning of the first round when he picked him up, he lifted up Derrick Lewis. And I'm like, holy shit. You're picking up a guy who's 30 pounds heavier than you, and slamming him to the ground, man. That's impressive, Dave. You got to give credit to Jailton. Look, the kid is strong.
He had good wrestling. He had good wrestling against a guy with very little takedown defense. And, if the fight was Jailton versus Curtis Blades, which was the original fight, I wonder how that would have went. I think that would have been a far more interesting matchup, because the fight that I saw on Saturday, and I had to sit through that fight, I watched it, and I was like, man, Jailton, he's doing really well. And I really don't blame Jailton Almeida for how the fight went. I mostly blame Derrick Lewis. People are blaming Jailton for not finishing him and maybe not throwing a lot of elbows or whatever. You got to understand that the space you give to throw the elbows is the space you're going to give Derrick Lewis to explode out of some of these positions, right? And I think that Derrick Lewis was just so passive losing that fight. That's really what bothers me. It's not that Jailton wasn't more aggressive trying to win the fight. It's that Derrick Lewis was just there ready to lose. And I was cool with the strategy up until the 5th round because Derrick Lewis, I get it. You don't have a ground game. You suck at jiu-jitsu. You get taken down. You get mounted. You just want to survive until the round ends so that you have another shot of punching this guy in the face and knocking him out. I get it. That's the Derrick Lewis strategy. And that's a lot of big puncher strategy with very little ground game, right? You get taken down at the beginning of the round. Oh, well, this round is a wash. I've lost this round. Next round, I'll get him, right? Next round, I'll knock him out. Except once it came to the 5th round, where there is no next round, Derrick Lewis is still sitting on his back with no urgency to get back up at that point. Like, I get not overexerting yourself trying to get back to your feet in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round. But once it comes time to the 5th round, it's like, dude, you're losing. You have no chance. Like,
he did have no answers.
Well, yeah, but come on, man. The strategy was terrible. Like, it's not like he was giving a lot of effort to get back to his feet. Did you see him shrimp one time? You know what I mean? Did you see him try to regain any kind of guard? Like, it's like once he got mounted, he was like, well, I guess I'm mounted now. I'll just wait till this round is over. But in the 5th round, it's like, dude,
that's why
you're giving up the fight.
That's why I said
I think he was just
like a guy that didn't really want to be there.
Yeah,
like he got a good paycheck on short notice, so I might give him a break a little bit because he took it on short notice. But he didn't seem like a guy that really was into it, so quite disappointing. And I'm gonna use the Jailton he called out Cyril Gane, and I'll tell you what, man, Cyril Gane right now he's going to be forgotten quick enough if he doesn't accept one of these fights. Because, like he's been saying, I only want to fight for the title. That's the only thing that makes sense. But you see now they're having an interim title this weekend, and it's not involving Cyril Gane. And, I mean, John Jones, when he comes back, he's going to fight Miocic. So, Cyril Gane, man, you should accept this challenge, man. Jailton is a hot fighter right now. Try to get your name still out there, because you're going to be pushed back in the rankings if you're not active. So I hope that fight gets done.
Well, I'd give a counterpoint to that, Fred. We don't know how long it's going to take John Jones to come back, right? His fight with Stipe might not happen. I mean, we're thinking possibly November next year, right?
They said 8 months he was out for.
Right. Sergey and Aspinall are fighting for the interim title here on Saturday. Don't you think there's room for an interim title defense between now and whenever John Jones fights? Like I'm saying, I think that interim title will be defended before it is unified with the heavyweight championship. So I think that Cyril Gane could easily fight the winner of Sergey and Aspinall on Saturday. And if it's not Cyril Gane fighting the winner, is it Jailton? I don't know. But honestly, I think Cyril Gane would be a front runner for a title shot, for an interim title shot at, whatever this championship is going to mean. But I think, this belt might be defended.
Yeah, no, that's a possibility. I'm just saying don't be too much on the sidelines, because the last things I've heard from him was like, fighting Aspinall or fighting Pavlovich doesn't make sense because I should be fighting for the title. And I mean, your last fight when you fought for the title, you got pretty much dominated. So these guys do make sense for you. So you say yes to one of these fights and be active. Keep your name out there because people have short-term memories, man. If Jailton does good, if Pavlovich or Aspinall is impressive, people are just going to forget about him.
Yep, you might be right.
It's true, man. You got to stay relevant, man. You're right.
Shout out to Lior, member of the team over at join.ringsidereport.net. Shout out Lior. Shout out to everybody supporting over at membership.ringsidereport.net and join.ringsidereport.net. Hello, Lior. Hello, Helium Siam. Miss Brooklyn Lizard. 12.15%. Big Bob Burgers.
12.15.
Shout out to everybody watching us on Rumble. I see Topher 1010, Jerry G69. Jerry G asking us, will there be a watch-along on Saturday for UFC 295? Yes. Of course there will be a watch-along, Jerry. There is always a watch-along here on the Ringside Report Network for the UFC pay-per-views, and this is a big UFC pay-per-view. AJ.
You bet, G-Spot. Tell me.
What did you call me?
You're saying Jerry G, man? Just carried it through, man. Okay. Tell me, what were you going to say, Dave?
I don't know. I lost my train of thought here. Let's get into UFC 295. What are we wasting time for? Why mess around? Why mess around? We've gloated about last weekend, how we're on a roll, how we're making all the right picks. I've been killing it on the picks, making money for everybody. Fred's been killing it on the picks, making money for everybody. AJ's been, chugging along, trying to catch up.
Man. No.
Shout out Angelo.
Those 5 parlays.
What's up, Angelo? Angelo and Laval, my man.
Hoppa!
Yeah. UFC 295, no John Jones, but we get 2 title fights anyways, and I'm pretty excited about them. And everybody I talk to is picking the same guys as me, so I'm curious to see what you guys are going to say, but everybody I talk to, I mean, I only talked to a couple guys about this, so, in the past few days. One of them is our buddy Jeremy Prophet, who is one of the best wrestlers in the world today. And another one is our buddy Big Allen, who is the best jiu-jitsu fighter in the world in his own mind. So it's pretty good.
Wow.
He's also
that's good. I like that, man.
Allen is top. What did you say, Fred? He's top 500 tough guys in Quebec? Is he on the list?
Yeah, 500 most. Yeah, definitely.
500 most dangerous guys in Quebec.
That's still pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive, man.
And he might even be in the top 250.
There's 3.2 million in Montreal.
Allen is a tough guy.
That's impressive, man.
On a total side note about jiu-jitsu,
that means we're going to disagree, though.
What?
I was going to say we're going to disagree because I talked with him today and I don't agree with him. So
Allen's got, Team Eastern Europe all day, right? That's what he loves, right? Isn't he going Yuri and Sergey?
I don't know about Sergey, but I know he has Yuri, and I have Alex, man. I'm going with Alex. Ooh. Alex Pereira. He's been incredible, man.
Listen, man. The serial killer, man, according to Dana White. Listen, man. And that's the thing. Dana White said, he was posed a question, like, who is, like, the most intimidating guys in the UFC that you've obviously promoted and met and whatever, right? He goes, hands down, man. He goes, Alex Pereira. The guy goes, Alex, yeah. He goes, man, this guy has the eyes of a serial killer. When he comes out and he's talking to you, he's looking through you. And it's like, I'm not fighting him, but that's the thing with Alex Pereira. He's a Brazilian, like, Amazonian warrior, man. He's coming out there to I don't want to say to kill, but literally, like, it comes to that. This guy is scary, dude. These are 2 big 205-pounders, man. It's going to be impressive because Yuri's been out. He got injured. He's been out for a while. This guy is dangerous. If he wasn't fighting Pereira, I'd be like, hands down, Yuri. But just seeing Alex Pereira come up and do what he does, I don't think there's anybody that has – if Yuri's not prepared to defend those leg kicks, it's going to be nasty. And his striking power is, like, insane. He's probably has the most dangerous, like, striking game and definitely the most dangerous leg game. So Yuri has to be like on the top of his game, coming in from a long haul of being out of the UFC, dude. I mean, we said that before.
Sure.
And we've always been like, it's just...
Guys.
He's a scary knockout artist, Pereira. Just remember that. It's going to be tough.
Prochazka is not human. He is not an ordinary man. He's something else. You can't hurt this guy. He's a monster.
He is,
Prochazka. Man. He's coming.
Look, he's coming.
There's no stopping this guy. I know you guys are both with Pereira. I'm going Yuri all day. I love that Yuri's an underdog right now, plus 100. Let's go with Yuri Prochazka. Let's go with Yuri Prochazka by knockout.
Listen, Dave, I'm going to tell you something right there.
I think he knocks out Pereira.
You're right.
He puts his lights out. Pereira is a 185er. Yuri Prochazka could never, ever in his life make 185 pounds in the UFC. He is a big guy with a 1-inch reach advantage, and he is unhurtable. No losses in the UFC, has finished everybody he has faced, including Glover Teixeira in his last fight. Nobody is stopping Yuri. And I think Pereira technically maybe a little bit better standing up, but Yuri is just force and power and heart and otherworldly rage. There's something going on with this guy.
All those qualities also go for Pereira, man. Pereira's a warrior. Pereira is strong. He's I don't know, man. I like Pereira. Plus, he has the mentality of a champion. Yuri's a little wild. I think that's going to go against him, man. Pereira's going to connect when
Pereira is 36, knocked out 2 fights ago. Unconscious. 36 years old. Yuri's 31, and he's never been stopped.
Think of what was happening before that. No, and I'll give you something. Look,
Lior says,
29 wins.
Hang on.
Out, I'm saying
Lior says Yuri is fantastic, but Glover almost beat him. I mean, almost isn't
true.
But it was a close fight. Glover Teixeira is a monster.
He's right,
but I don't think Alex Pereira is as durable as Glover Teixeira.
Listen,
I don't think he's as durable. It's much harder to put Glover away than it is to put Pereira.
Man, I don't know about that. It just, look, he got clipped. There's no doubt about it. But when you're looking at Glover Teixeira, man, on that fight with Yuri, he threw 150. He got 159 significant strikes out of a 212 that he threw. So the thing with Yuri is he's resilient. He can take it, man. The thing is that what I was trying to say earlier is that out of 29 wins, Yuri has knocked out 25. So if this fight is going to be stopped, it's going to be stopped by a knockout. The only thing is that you're coming off a long haul with a shoulder injury. That's the biggest problem here. And when you have a shoulder injury, okay, will he be able to go toe-to-toe with Pereira? I don't know how that's going to work out, but he's got to remember this. It's the kicking game that's going to win. I think Pereira is going to unleash like a nightmare on Yuri. And I like Yuri, man. He's a big guy. If he wasn't fighting Pereira at the level like Fred said, Pereira goes in there knowing he's the champion and he feels like a champion. He walks like a champion. He's just got that aura of a champion.
Talks like a
champion. The guy is dangerous. Yeah, he doesn't talk much, but he can stare you down, man. Like Dana White said, this guy is if he wasn't a fighter, he'd probably be like some kind of weird, crazy serial Amazonian killer. But that's the thing. It's going to be tough, man. It's that shoulder injury that bothers me the most, Dave.
I'm kind of disappointed, Dave. I thought you would have got my reference here.
What do you say?
Because AJ said he walks like a champion, and I said he talks like a champion.
Yeah.
A little
come on, Dave.
Oh, is it? Okay. Sorry,
you never got it, you.
No.
AJ acting like he got it. AJ, it went past his head.
No, I was thinking of the song, man. I was thinking of the Bangles with their song, Walk Like an Egyptian. I thought you were like referring it to that kind of stuff.
Oh, my Lord.
Forget it.
What? Yeah, I got Yuri, guys. I think Yuri's gonna win. I think he's gonna beat Pereira. I think the fact that Pereira's 36 years old is a factor, and that Yuri's 31. I think that it makes a difference. 36 is not prime fighting age, and at a certain point, you got to go. Well, it's starting to take a turn, and I think Pereira is very good. And he could easily win this fight. He's got a lot of skills, but I don't see how he does it. Maybe a decision. I don't see him knocking out Yuri Prochazka though. I don't see it, and I do see Yuri finishing Pereira. So I've got Yuri Prochazka. You think Pereira finishes him?
AJ said Glover connected a lot, and I think Pereira, if anything, if he connects a lot, he might not be as tough and resilient as Glover, but I think he hits just as hard, if not harder. So Pereira might be the guy to finish Yuri. I'm sticking to my Pereira pick.
And Freddie, on another note, man, Yuri has never met or fought a leg kicker as dangerous as Pereira. He has never fought anyone to that level. And I'm telling you, man, this is going to be the kickboxing Muay Thai showdown. And if he stands up with Pereira, it's going to be tough, man. I'm telling you, it's that shoulder injury that bothers me. For sure, he's recovered and he's been in training camp and whatnot. But when it's go time and it's really very different than sparring in some sense, that's where you're going to see, man. We saw that with Johnny Walker too, man. These shoulder injuries kind of take away a step of your game.
Yuri Prochazka is not Johnny Walker. Come on, man.
No, you're right.
It's cut from a different cloth, man. Yuri Prochazka is the real deal.
You're right.
I am shocked that you guys aren't seeing it. I am shocked. I'm so convinced he's going to win. I'm so convinced of Yuri Prochazka. This guy's been the guy forever. All of a sudden, Pereira comes up from 185 and he's the guy? No. I don't see it like that. I don't even see this as a tough fight.
Pereira's not a small guy.
Yeah, but come on. The Jamal Hill fight.
Man.
Okay, I'll get
guys too.
Jamal Hill fight is going to be tough. I don't think this is going to be that tough for Yuri.
Listen, Fred said something before that makes sense, and this is where the game, other than where I think the leg game is going to be the deciding factor to the win for Pereira, I think it's that, look, if Yuri goes back to his old ways, man, the guy is, like you said, he's like a machine, man. That guy is insane. The only problem is that it's that wild approach that he has that comes out. The thing with Pereira, he's a calculated striker, man. Mm-hmm. And that one wild mistake is going to cost you. And Fred said it there, and I'm like, yeah, that's going to be the deciding factor. Because if he tries to come out high, man, Pereira's going to clip him. He's going to get him, man. The leg kicks are going to win. No one's getting submitted in this fight.
Okay, we'll see. I'm going to go with Yuri by knockout. Right now at Bet99, Yuri by knockout plus 185. Oof. 20 gets you 57. Maybe I can call our buddies at Bet99, get that boosted for the weekend. That'd be good. Yuri by knockout. Okay, Dave is alone on an island with the underdog in the main event. I've been here before, guys, and it usually goes well for me. Let me tell you. It usually goes well for me.
How was the rematch between Juliana and
no, not good.
And Amanda?
Oh,
I had Sean O'Malley.
Remember that confidence?
Didn't we all pick O'Malley?
Yeah. No, I didn't have O'Malley.
No, I think I was the only one with O'Malley. Did you go with O'Malley too?
I went with Of course,
I think
man.
AJ
I don't
had
go against O'Malley, man.
AJ's an O'Malley fan for a while.
Yeah, we picked some good ones this year. We picked some good ones. Some that people didn't really see coming. What was the other one? Strickland, I didn't see coming. That was a good one.
Strickland. Well, me and Freddie were on the page of Strickland. We got that right.
Did you take Strickland?
Remember, Dave? Yes, we did.
I don't think you did, AJ.
Actually,
no, you said he might win,
I said,
but you picked Adesanya. Like what?
I said he's. I said he was. People are underestimating Strickland and his capability because I said the guy can take a beating. He's a rockhead. Remember the rockhead?
Rockhead. Yes, I do remember you saying rockhead and then picking Adesanya to win. So you didn't really do anything there.
Well,
how about the co-main event? Sergey Pavlovich.
Ooh.
So I should tell you that the main event right now, odds are Yuri is the underdog, right? Plus 100, Pereira minus 120. So it's close, but Pereira, your guys' pick, is the slight favorite. Here, Tom Aspinall minus 115, Sergey Pavlovich minus 105. So it is real close there. Co-main event for the interim heavyweight title. Sergey Pavlovich, 31 years old, from Russia, hits like a truck. Tom Aspinall, 30 years old, from Manchester, England, moves well, also hits very hard. But I think Pavlovich hits harder, and I think that's basically the story of the fight. I think they're going to hit each other, and Aspinall will go down because Pavlovich, when he hits you, it's like an explosion in your face. Pavlovich has crushed people, and the way he's done it has been not just impressive, but shocking and frightening. The way that Sergey Pavlovich beats people up is like, oh my God, what is this guy? The way he obliterated Derrick Lewis in 55 seconds. The way he smoked Tai Tuivasa in 54 seconds. He beat Curtis Blades by knockout in 3 minutes. Like, this guy just runs through people, and just the way people react to getting hit by Pavlovich is scary. You know? It's not like what he does. It's the way people fall down and you see their faces and you see their bodies just give up when Pavlovich hits them. He's scary, man. I think he's going to beat Aspinall. I'm surprised that he's not the favorite. I'm surprised Aspinall is even a slight favorite. Aspinall is very good. He's been great. He's been finishing people, and it's been impressive. But Pavlovich has been scary. I think there's a difference. Good fight, though.
Man, it's going to be interesting because Pavlovich, he's kind of like reminds me of Fedor. Every time I see him, the way he walks, the way he moves, and he's got that knockout power of Fedor. I mean, the guy's won 6 first-round KOs. The guy is brutal. He's got that punch that hits like a hammer. And the thing is that he's fighting Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall looked amazing in his last fight. He looked amazing from the beginning. I had a lot of hopes for this guy as being a future champion, and I don't think it's going to end with Sergey. I think Sergey has that knockout power, no doubt about it. He gets him clean on the chin. It's going to be a long night. But when you look at a more well-rounded fighter and the fighting IQ of Tom Aspinall, he knows that he's not going to exchange into a fireworks fight. He's not going to put himself into dangerous way. He's going to pick him apart. He might go to distance on this fight. I think Sergey loses. I don't think he's going to get knocked out. He might be submitted because we haven't seen anything of that nature because Tom is amazing in the grappling game. But I can see this going the distance because Tom is just a smart fighter. I think he wins by decision.
Hard to tap a Russian. They got good wrestling. They got good
It's
pace.
hard to tap. You
know what I mean?
You do, but it depends. But Tom is something else, man. When it comes to the grappling game, and he gets top mount, man. If he gets his back, he'll choke him out.
You got
that's the thing. I think.
Damn.
Huh?
You got Aspinall.
I think Aspinall.
I'm going with
Aspinall.
Aspinall
Wants to grapple. If this could be a grappling fight, yeah, I'm gonna give the edge to Aspinall. But Pavlovich is so big. I think he's gonna struggle to get into the positions he wants to, and I don't think Aspinall has the wrestling to gain those top positions early. So I'm gonna go with Pavlovich, and I'm gonna go TKO. Maybe this goes to decision. It's only 3 rounds, so I could see it going. Oh, no, it's 5.
Yeah, it's for the belt.
No, it's 5 because, yeah, you're right. It's an interim title. So, yeah, maybe TKO makes sense because I don't think 5 rounds is going to be hard for Aspinall to survive, and I think Pavlovich is going to connect, and he's going to do some damage. So, I got Sergey winning. I'll tell you what, man. Tom Aspinall's biggest fan must be Michael Bisping because I was listening to Bisping the other day, and he seems convinced that Aspinall's going to win. But I'm sticking to Pavlovich.
Yeah, well, they're both from Manchester, and Bisping is a big fan, and he likes him and all that. So he's going to go with his boy. But, yeah, I think Pavlovich wins. I think Pavlovich wins quick. I think he puts those hands on Aspinall, and Aspinall goes to sleep. I haven't seen anybody really able to stand up and deal with Pavlovich. And you're talking about a stick and move game for Tom Aspinall there, AJ. Stick and move and try to outpoint him for 5 rounds. I think that's going to be very tough to do because when Sergey hits you, it's explosive. And you say he's like Fedor. I think it's more like Francis Ngannou. He reminds me of Ngannou. The way he hits people and they crumple with punches that don't look like they have a lot on them, they're just powerful.
But it's the striking accuracy that makes the difference.
It's the
as
what?
Well, because if you look at the striking accuracy, and that's the problem with Sergey. He has a lot of power, but he's only got 49% striking accuracy. Where Tom Aspinall, man, he's a bigger guy. He's 6'5". Sergey's 6'3". What Sergey has is that 6-inch reach. He's got an 84-inch reach. I mean, that's the thing. That's why he's able to clobber a lot of people. It's that extra edge, man, of that long arm. The difference is his striking accuracy. And when I'm getting back to Tom Aspinall, the guy is a much more well-rounded fighter and a much more cerebral fighter. The guy's going to be able to be in that pocket, get away from those power shots, and just break him down for all those rounds. I'm telling you, Tom Aspinall, man, is there for a reason. This guy is a champion, and I think he will walk away as champion on Saturday night. I've been waiting for this, and it's going to happen. He's dangerous, Tom Aspinall, man. Just think of his last fight. Holy shit. He has 2 brand new knees, man, or 1. I can't remember if it's 1 or 2, but regardless. The bionic man is there, man. The man chancellor.
The thing is with Aspinall is the resume isn't super impressive to me. You say his last fight, yeah, okay, who did he beat? Marcin Tybura. Like, he hasn't really beat anybody.
Yeah, you're right.
He beat Alexander Volkov, who's good, but he had that fight with Curtis Blades, and his knee exploded, and he had to get surgery. So that was a real test, but the fight never really got off the ground, so it wasn't really clear where Aspinall was at. Whereas Sergey Pavlovich, like I saw him smash Derrick Lewis and Tai Tuivasa back-to-back, and then he smashed Curtis Blades, and he made it look easy.
But one thing for sure, Dave, on those 2 guys, like, I'll give Sergey credit that he can eat shots because he got smashed by both Ty and Curtis Blades, and he ended up winning. Like, he wasn't knocked out, so he can eat shots. That's what I'm saying with Tom Aspinall. It's gonna be hard to knock out Sergey, but that's why it's gonna be the long game. He's got to win by winning rounds, and I think that's where he's gonna do it.
I just don't think Aspinall can eat Sergey's shots, but we'll see. Patrick C. Hamilton dropping the lucky 777. He says, Sergey is my only pick. Solid pick. Lior, another smart man going with, I think Sergey wins. He's been a beast, dominating everyone. So members of the team, Patrick and Lior going with Sergey Pavlovich. I'm going with Sergey. Freddie is going with Sergey. And AJ on his own there going with the slight favorite right now, Tom Aspinall, to become the new UFC interim heavyweight champion. AJ, your favorite, Mackenzie Dern, is on this pay-per-view taking on Jessica Andrade. And I don't know if you saw, but Megaton was on Embedded. Your buddy Megaton, who you shared a sauna with, he was on the Embedded, and Mackenzie was talking about her father, Megaton. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth a look for you, AJ. I saw Megaton on Embedded, and I was like, oh my God, look at that.
Did he mention my name?
No.
Did he mention me?
No.
Listen, he didn't? Damn it. How did he look? He looked in shape. This guy is like, this guy is one impressive guy for his, like he usually fights, obviously now. He looks in great shape, man. I think he's hitting closer to 60 now than anything.
Looked all right.
No, like physically, really. Like speaking, like he fights in the Masters. I forgot what level in jiu-jitsu. The guy is unbelievable. But that's the thing with Mackenzie Dern. She has her dad, Megaton, who is like a legendary jiu-jitsu fighter who still competes, at a senior level and is just like, he's super dangerous. So Mackenzie Dern has all the gifts to be a great fighter. And in her last fight, man, her striking game was impressive. You cannot deny that. Her strike, all she did was strike. And that's the thing with Mackenzie. She's improved in her boxing. She's improved incredibly in her fighting IQ skills in the octagon. And her jiu-jitsu game is at another level. There's no one better than her in that division. Andrade is a great jiu-jitsu fighter, black belt and whatnot. But she, okay, she lost. How many fights did she lose now? 3 in a row. She's 1-3 in 2023. It's gonna be a tough fight, man. Mackenzie Dern is like she's going up the hill. Andrade is kind of coming down that hill at this point in her career. So, and look at how she fought. Like, I'm looking at the last fight with Angela Hill, man. Damn. Mackenzie Dern, man.
Yeah. It was
if she wins,
it was okay. I mean, she couldn't put her away. It was a tough fight.
Angela Hill, yeah. I mean, her last fight she won, but she didn't look great. She's not in the best moments of her career. I'm picking Mackenzie Dern. I think she's gonna win because Andrade is on a bad streak. I've been high on Andrade like a year ago, but this last year, 1-3, like you said, 3 losses in a row. I think, unfortunately, she's probably on her way. Maybe not out of the UFC, but she's on her way down. Yeah, she's down in the rankings now. At some point, I saw her as a potential contender, and now I have my doubts. So I'm gonna go with Mackenzie Dern to win. Maybe by submission, maybe by decision, but I'm going with Mackenzie.
I'm not sure about Mackenzie Dern in this fight. You look at the fighters that Jessica Andrade has lost to in her past 3 fights. She's lost 3 in a row, but she lost to Tatiana Suarez, who's undefeated, beating everybody, looking really good. Then before that, she lost to Yan Jiaonan, who also beat Mackenzie Dern, who's one of the top in the division. And then she lost to Erin Blanchfield, who's undefeated and probably going to be a champion at some point in the division. So the losses that she suffered are to some really high-level fighters, and I've seen Mackenzie Dern struggle a lot. I have seen her not have the best striking. It's definitely improved, but it's not the best. Yeah. I have seen her have some okay wrestling, but not the best. And I have seen her with people on the ground and people defending well and not able to close the door. I saw her on top of Angela Hill a lot in that last fight, and she did not get that submission. She worked at it and tried, and it just didn't quite happen for her. And, in a 3-round fight with Jessica Andrade, she could easily lose a round, win a round, have a toss-up round, and lose a split decision. So I am not confident in Mackenzie Dern at all in this fight. I think she could easily lose. I will not put any kind of money on her. I might even take a look at Jessica Andrade. Plus 165 is not bad as far as the odds on her. I don't think Mackenzie Dern is somebody that you can necessarily bet money on confidently right now in the UFC because she's been up and down. She's won some fights and looked good. And then some other fights, she just can't quite get it together. Somebody defends that takedown, and all of a sudden, she's in trouble. So Jessica Andrade is a tough fight for her, a step up in competition. And I think, people are maybe underestimating Andrade because she's lost 3 in a row. But your buddy Megaton himself said on Embedded he wouldn't want to fight Jessica Andrade. She's tough.
Definitely, man. If it's like, look, there's no doubt about it. Like, her stand-up game is obviously there. Her ground game is obviously there. The only difference is that I think it's the timing. I think it's the perfect time for Mackenzie Dern to be fighting Andrade. And I was just saying is that Dern is making her way up while Andrade is slowly losing that.
I don't know if Dern is making her way up. If anything,
I think so. I think so.
If
I think it's the
anything,
perfect
Dave
time.
has a right analysis saying like she hasn't been that impressive. She's been.
Well, she looked good with Angela Hill. Come on, guys. Her boxing skills have really even.
Yeah, but Angela Hill is not at the level of those 3 last fights that Jessica Andrade has had. So
yeah, and she's not at the level of Jessica Andrade.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, this is a tricky fight. There's no doubt about it. This is a tricky fight and a tricky one to pick. But I'm going with
still
Dern.
Picking Dern, but like Dave says, I wouldn't put her on my parlay. She's not on my parlay, but I'm gonna pick Dern just to make AJ happy.
I'd throw a bet on Andrade. By decision.
Yeah, probably. Look, I think Dern is going to submit her, or control the fight to a decision win. But Andrade has to come up and step up like she's never fought before, because her last 3 fights, man, of losses, yeah, she fought like names, Dave. But if she's supposed to be at that level of fighting those names, she should have picked up a win.
Andrade by decision, plus 425. Yep. Give me some of that. I'll take some of that action right now. Give me that. Andrade by decision, plus 425.
All right. If it makes you happy, Dave.
It does make me happy.
I'm with you, Megaton.
So few things make me happy.
I'm
Give
with
me
you.
That, okay?
See you in the sauna.
The Steamroller Frivola taking on BSD. Benoit Saint-Denis.
That Benoit, man, he's something.
And then we've got Diego Lopez taking on Pat Sabatini. And that will round up the pay-per-view. Sabatini.
Who fought Sabatini in the past that we know from Montreal?
I don't know. Nobody.
But he's from New Jersey. I'm just trying to remember.
New Jersey.
They'll come back to me. Joyzy, man.
Okay. I think it's time. I'm going to give you my parlay. It's real simple. It's real fun. It's real easy. It is the Team Dave 2-fight special. We're going with the main and co-main event. We're going with the dogs. We're going with Yuri Prohaska and Sergey Pavlovich, which is kind of fun because if they win, plus 290, 20 gets you 78 over at bet99.ringsidereport.net. So that is the Team Dave parlay. Quick and easy. It's a 2-fight parlay. We're going with Sergey and Yuri. Eastern Europe. Czech Republic, Russia. 20 gets you 78. Let's go! Freddie, what you got?
Pereira, Pavlovich.
Ooh. Oof. Only one of us can win this week, though, Fred. That's not cool. We're supposed to all win.
It's the way it is, man. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
No participation trophy here.
That's right.
Yeah, Fred. That's right.
It's all about the wins, man. Baby. All right, Fred going with Pereira Pavlovich. He's given a 2-fight parlay for the main and co-main. 20 gets you 71.59 over at bet99.com. Not bad. Similar payout to what I gave you. Close fights in the main and co-main. AJ time.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the long parlay. I'm pretty confident in my picks. I think Pereira is gonna win. I'm going with Tom Aspinall, like I said earlier. I'm going to put Mackenzie Dern in my parlay. I believe she has the tools to win, and she's right at the perfect time to beat Andrade.
Oh, my God. It's going to be so funny when she loses and your parlay breaks and your heart breaks at the same time.
No.
So
she's going to win, man. 13-3 is going to be 14-3.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go with Benoit Saint-Denis, man. This guy is like tabarnouche. He makes a croissant cry. He's so dangerous. Then
Sacre bleu.
It's not tabarnouche. Sacre bleu.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say tabarnouche? Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu. Where is me ma?
Unless he trains here in Montreal, then it goes from Sacre bleu to tabarnouche.
I wonder what's French Canadian for. I grew up without a mother. Sacre bleu. Where is me ma? You know that reference I'm making, AJ? You don't understand. Fred, do you get it what I'm saying?
The Pink Panther?
Not
what?
sure.
Inspector Clouseau?
Sopranos. Sopranos. Come on, Fred. I thought you haven't got there yet?
Repeat.
Janice takes anger management class, right? And they're all having dinner, and Tony doesn't want her to be happy, and he's like upset that she's dealt with her anger. And he's like, I wonder where Harpo's eating Sunday dinner. And then she's there with Bobby and Bobby's kids, and he's like, I don't know. And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, I didn't know you had a son. And then it's like, okay, Tony, drop it, And then Tony goes, I wonder what's French Canadian for. I grew up without a mother. And then he goes, Sacre bleu, where is me ma? And she gets all mad and starts yelling at him, and he loves it. He finds it very amusing. Classic moment. Sacre bleu, where is me ma? I wonder what's French Canadian for. I grew up without a mother. Because he's French Canadian. Harpo. Okay, sorry.
Interesting.
Sorry, go on. You said second.
And then I'm going to go with Pat Sabatini. We're going to go to the Jersey talk, man. Jersey Shore, man. Don't mess with Jersey Shore.
All right.
Pat Sabatini, man.
That's right. Forget about it.
Don't mess, man.
Are you done?
Forget about it. Well, that's it, man. How much more do you want me to go? I was going to take John Jones over
Team
Stipe
AJ's parlay. He's going with Pereira. He's going with Aspinall. He's going with Dern, of course. He's going with Benoit Saint-Denis. And he's going with Pat Sabatini. And I think those are all the favorites. Yep, he's going with all the favorites on the main card. 20 gets you 270.48 over at bet99.ringsidereport.net. Woo!
For all favorites, that's a pretty good one. I'm confident, man, this is coming out.
You say that every week.
Well, you got to be confident, Dave.
You said that
but I'm looking
last
at the stats
week
and everything. I'm breaking it down
lost.
to like, well, I lost by a ridiculous loss. I mean,
but AJ, there's confidence and then there's overconfidence. I think you're overconfident because you give us 5 fights and you think, yes, these will all play out. Fred and I give you like 2 fights and we're like, these will probably pay out and then, we'll make money and we'll be all right. You're like, I'm so confident. I know everything about fighting and I'm always right about everything, even though the statistical evidence points the other way. You're just so overconfident in your abilities that you think you could pick 5 fights every week, which you very, very seldom do. Whereas Fred and I might give you 2 or 3 fight parlay, and we'll usually pay out every weekend, which is pretty good because then you're making money every week instead of losing the money. You see what I'm saying?
I'm going to bring you money with the wins, but I'm going to tell you something. You got to be honest. When you were watching the Bonfim fight, did you not think that he was going to win it? Yes, and I would have hit my parlay there. But like it was,
I didn't think he was going to win when Dalby got back to his feet. I was like, oh, here comes Dalby.
Prior to that. I said the same thing, and I'm like, damn, man, why is he getting back up? What the hell? But I'm just saying,
so
he
what?
should be dead at this point. But let's be honest. Up to that point, did you not think like Bonfim was looking good? You were like, damn, he's...
Every time Jailton Almeida didn't get a takedown, I was like, oh, no, he's going to get knocked out by Derrick Lewis. Watch out, Jailton Almeida. But then he got the takedown, and I was like, oh, good. He's going to win the fight. The parlay is going to come through. It's all good. But, yeah, there were moments in the fight where I'm, like, worried. It doesn't mean anything, AJ. The end result is really what's important.
You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. But the thing is that there's a level of flow in the fight where you should be pretty sure that the win is going to go to a particular fighter, especially when he's like, he almost had him submitted, man. Like, look, it's just an unfortunate loss for Bonfim. I think that's his first loss. So, it kind of sucks. But I'm confident on Saturday, man. Even with my
Lior says Andrade might win this one. Dern disappoints in big fights. Lior also asks, is Megaton the same age as AJ? If so, AJ looks much better. And I will agree with that statement, Lior, which I'm not sure if AJ wants to take it as a compliment or he will just deny it because the thing is, I think Megaton, I just Wikipedia'd it, he's 56 years old. And let me tell you, AJ, might be 56. I'm not sure how old AJ is, but he's definitely in that range. And if he is 56, the same age as Megaton, he looks way younger than Megaton. So, yeah, I agree with you, Lior. AJ does look better than Megaton. He looks younger than Megaton. And they might be the same age. I'm really not sure. I've lost track with AJ, but I'm pretty sure he's very old.
Megaton looks great for his age. I met the guy, and he was... he's physically fit, man. Super nice guy. Yes, he is older than me. But you know what?
By
sometimes
a year or two?
What?
Not by much.
What are you talking about?
He looks, AJ, I'm trying to give you a compliment here, but you don't want to take it because you don't want to admit how old you are. But AJ, Megaton is maybe a year or two older than you. He looks about 10 years older than you. You look really good compared to him. There's a couple years difference. You look like 10 years difference. But you don't want to admit that you're only a couple years younger than Megaton, so the compliment won't come your way. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to take one to get the other.
Dave, you're blowing my chances with McKenzie. But I'm going to tell you this.
You never
look at some of the fight.
Sean Strickland says he's coming to Canada to main event a pay-per-view. Why Canada? GSP, you do this? No guns, no freedom of speech. UFC, you fucking with me? Tremendous.
Classic, man.
I mean, I think there are some guns in Canada, not as much as there are in the States. We also don't get like shot.
Well, out west, man,
as much.
A lot of guns, man.
A lot of shooting.
There was
Benny
a shooting in Brossard again this night.
Yeah.
What?
Did anybody?
What the hell happened?
Was it like a mass shooting where many people died?
At McDonald's, the McDonald's next to my house, there was a shooting.
I was close.
Last night,
I said Tim Hortons.
Did
man.
anybody die?
I knew it, man. It's got to be.
No.
Oh.
The Hamburglar.
Guy got lucky. Nervous breakdown. 2 shots through his truck, and they didn't hit him. He got lucky.
Jeez.
What
happens?
Did he like miss
gunfire?
out on the Monopoly,
Gunfire
Big Mac
happens.
trio
So
thing?
tell Sean Strickland. Call Sean Strickland. Tell him it's. Hey guys, it was a shooting yesterday. It's all good. Come to Canada. We have guns.
The week before that, they burned down my
like
favorite shish taouk restaurant.
They did?
What? Shish taouk? In Brossard?
Yeah, there's a couple of shish taouk restaurants that have been burned down in recent weeks.
Like on
they were
purpose?
saying in the news. Yeah,
listen, man, it used to be like the old days of like the pizza parlors, you know, like with the Italians. Like if you didn't buy a certain cheese, chances are you would have like a nice flambe restaurant. And it happened many times. So maybe this is like the new, like, you know, the mozzarella war. Now it's the shish taouk war. Don't mess with my shish taouk. You better buy my hummus. What hummus are you taking? No problem, my friend. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to sleep. Go to bed. Go.
Okay.
Boom.
I don't think we
That's
should be
what it
talking
is
about
nowadays,
this.
dude.
I don't want to get in trouble. I
hummus
don't know what
war.
you're saying.
Hummus war.
No, that's another thing, but we're not talking about that. I've been advised not to talk about that publicly, so I'm not going to.
Hummus. H-U.
Hummus.
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 Chickpeas.
Oh,
that's
okay,
crazy.
Okay.
You know what, Freddie? You
I
got
thought
to
we were
move out
talking
of that
about something else.
dangerous part
I was told I wasn't allowed to say anything about it. They told me not to.
I tried
so
to
I'm
bring
not
it
gonna.
up. I tried to slide it in there, but
Oh boy.
don't hummus with me.
Oh boy. There's a lot I want to say, but I really shouldn't say. It's bad.
Yeah, it's
you
probably
know?
not a good idea right now.
No. I know. I know better. It's bad. It's so bad. It's all so horrible.
All we are saying
It would
is
be
like John
nice,
Lennon
eh?
said.
Yeah,
Did
I
he
don't
get
know.
shot? Poor John Lennon too. Didn't
Things
get
are
a piece
looking.
of chance there, man.
Things are looking bleak. But you know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
That's
I
what
mean,
she
how
says.
bleak can it be if you get yourself a sweet new Matchbox Super Chase
Wow.
Mercedes Benz? Look at that thing! I
That's
found a
nice
Super
one, man.
Chase, guys.
I
So
want the
rare.
Star Trek Enterprise, man.
The what?
The Star Trek one.
You want that one?
Yeah.
can
You
have
know
one.
what, guys? Just because you said that, I went out and I bought one too.
Fred
Here, give
wants
me a
this
sec.
one.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Look at that. That's a cool one.
I'll put it right next to my Jetson one.
You got a Jetson one? Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
got you a Jetson one. Yeah. We don't have the Flintstones one yet. I'm trying to find a Flintstones car. That's what I want. A Flintstones
I'd like to
Hot
find a
Wheels.
Flintstone Lego. There's a Flintstone Lego set, but it's from like 7-8 years ago. So
Yeah.
I see it on eBay for like $200, and I'm not sure I want to pay that much for it.
Nice.
How's
AJ.
that one,
What is
Dave?
that? What's that
The
called?
64 Chevy Impala,
Nice.
the tuned. And then this is a nice one I got here. I don't know if you've
AJ's
seen
getting
this
Hot
one.
Wheels now too. Look at him. What do you got?
I got this one here. This one here is the Renault Kangoo, the shell version. You see, like the shell. This is an actual
Yeah, I've
shell
seen
one.
that one before. Yeah, I've seen that one. What
Have
have I
you?
started with you guys?
There you go, man. Now we just need the. Hey, where's the bobblehead, man? Where's that bobblehead? We need
It
bobbleheads.
doesn't release till May, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
No.
Are you gonna bring it up again? Show
yeah,
the
when it
bobblehead
comes
how
out
nice
for
it
sure.
is.
For sure.
We need
All
a
right. Well, we
ringside
could be
bobblehead.
showing Hot Wheels all day, but that's not what the show is about. But honestly, I think I might do like a Hot Wheels channel where I just auction off Hot Wheels for low prices. I think it's come to that.
Masvidal country.
What? Masvidal?
Hey, Hot Wheels, Masvidal.
Cool.
Don't mess with my low rider.
So we will be back here on Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the UFC 295 watch along. We're going to be watching the pay-per-view with you here on Saturday. From the first fight on the pay-per-view to the main event, we will have you covered. We'll have some fun. We'll have some laughs. And, we'll do it up. Coming up Saturday night here on the Ringside Report Network. And, of course, I'll be back here tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right after SmackDown for some pro wrestling talk with my man Johnny North for Wrestling Uncensored here on the Ringside Report Network. I want to thank Patrick C. Hamilton for dropping the super chat. I was going to say you were the super chat leader of the night, but Angelo just dropped the super chat, and he's the new leader.
What?
And Angelo has a question. That Bet99 shirt you guys were rocking a few weeks back is great. How can I get my hands on one?
You'll get one, Angelo.
We'll get you one, Angelo. I'm gonna give one to AJ, and he's gonna go out and give it to you. AJ's my messenger. He's a courier for the Ringside Report Network. Or I don't know, but
I'm the mule.
We'll get you one. We have one saved for you, Angelo. I think you said a large. I'm saving a large one for Angelo for sure. Large or extra large? I forget which one you said. I think it was a large, he said, right? So I have one reserved for you, Angelo. I have it in front of me. It's yours. We're gonna get it to you as soon as we can.
Listen, I'm gonna say something
Contact
about those
AJ.
T-shirts. They're
AJ.
really nice quality, man.
Yeah, they're really
I'm
nice.
impressed with the Bet99 merch.
And Fred, I have one for you too. Large or what? Large? I'll bring one tomorrow.
Yeah, large.
You going to the gym tomorrow?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, that's it. I'll be back tomorrow night. Angelo, you got yourself a shirt, 100%. You are a great supporter of the Ringside Report Network. You're the Super Chat leader of the night. We will get you a shirt for sure. Thank you to Angelo. Thank you to Leor. Thank you to Patrick C. Hamilton. All the members checking in here tonight on the Ringside Report Network. For Ringside Report MMA, we will see you again on Saturday for the UFC 295 watch-along.